Hello there. Welcome back to Abiotic Factor. Let us continue our adventure in science. Back at home. Oh. Well, that's certainly fitting. We should probably make sure that doesn't cause any problems, but last time we played, we got ourselves set up in the security office next to the starting cafeteria, right at the start of the game, and we harvested a lot of resources for ourselves that will help a lot with making sure that we're sustained for a good long while. Preparation is key for a successful delve into the world of Cascade Laboratories and the absolute nightmares that dwell within. We have a little bit of time before nighttime, but we should stick around because of that dimensional rift right there. Hey, Warren. Yeah, me too. Alright. Well, let's go handle this. These rifts... Well, I'm about to get interrupted here in a second. These rifts start to show up once you make a certain amount of progress, and they are a bit of a nuisance, but they certainly keep things spicy. When they do show up, and they have a proclivity to showing up near your bases, but when they do show up, it's good to get them handled accordingly, because leaving them to their own devices is not always a good course of action.
Warning. Biological incursion detected. Please alert defense team personnel.
Unfortunately, we pretty much are the defense team personnel at this point. And these are all spread out, too, which is, it's a bit of an issue.
All vacant perforations will be resetting in 3, 2, 1. Reset complete.
Well, I think that just about does it. Thank goodness. Let's go ahead and get our things repaired real quick. When those portal storms happen, that is when the most damage to your base is going to occur. When the most damage to your base is going to occur. That and a robot from security getting into your base, that is also an extremely bad happenstance. I don't think anything actually took that much damage during that little incursion. Which is great. Just doing a double check. Not that we have to worry about too much coming after us in our base, and either that or wandering over here and tearing things apart while we're not here.
I perceive a distinct lack of snacks.
Oh, dear heavens. Well, so we have money, and we've collected that throughout the world, so we can honestly just purchase some food from the vending machines for now, because our crops are not quite done. We might as well use the cash that we have, and get our cash rejected by the vending machines. It's a very realistic vending machine. If there's even the slightest crumple in your dollar bill, it will be rejected. The snacks from the vending machines aren't great. I dare say that they're pretty bad. In fact, they make you more tired. They give you kind of like a sugar high and force you to get rest sooner than later, which is unfortunate. But it's better than starving violently to death. Soda doesn't have that effect for some reason. Still, might as well drink the good stuff while you can. However, we can give this root beer, to Warren here, and that will get us a can of peas, which is nice. 15 to hunger, 8 to thirst. A positive benefit no matter what we do. So we actually have this security bot CPU that we got from the robot that we killed in the last episode. However, we're going to need a lot more in order for that to be even slightly useful, so we can honestly just kind of leave that here for now. I'm starting to run out of room in my tech materials. We can put some of these arrows away, that's for sure. Put the screws over here. That should be fine. And we will want to make sure we water our plants before we go anywhere else. That is, you definitely want to make sure that these are watered, because they will
This sector is under precautionary security.
drain out very fast.
Please remain in place and wait for security assistance.
Got those. Go ahead and level our tanks while we're at it. Alright, let's make some headway. Because now that we've done a lot of prepping beforehand, we can actually not worry about a lot of the supplies that we have, or are going to need more of later. So, we're free to make some fun progress, as it were. In fact, I can show you the intended long way that we were supposed to take, as opposed to taking that shortcut that I had shown in the last episode, up through the ventilation system. Let's just get some accuracy experience real quick. So we opened up this shortcut, and if you noticed, there's actually another path.
I may soon need the facilities.
Well, actually, the timing on that's pretty wonderful. Hopefully there isn't a ghost blocking our toilet again. Thank goodness. That was very weird in the last episode. I don't know what prevented us from just sitting on every single toilet in the entire facility. I'm pretty sure it was the toilet phantom. I wouldn't doubt if that was actually some sort of horrible creature inside of the facility. So, I just wanted to show off real quick where this was, specifically. When we came up to the second floor through reception, there was a way over here, and we came in through this way. There's the TV about resting over here. There's this locked office over here, and we used an energy brick to open up this emergency shutter. So, that's where we're going now, and this is the, air quotes, intended way of getting up here, or making progress, but like I said, we had taken the ventilation path, which skips this whole part of the game. Which is a short part, but it does skip a big chunk of it. And this door is locked, which leads to an area we've been before. So, normally, this is how you're supposed to make progress. You can tell things went terribly awry in this room. What's going on? Any news? You've had those A2 samples for 2 weeks. What's the holdup? Sorry, Lenora. Yes, we think the intensity of the radiation over there is due to high entropy levels. Energy just dissipates faster. We're giving everyone iodine tablets to counteract the radiation from expeditions. But there's a problem I can't figure out. The numbers don't add up. Even with the higher entropic quotient, there's excess energy coming in through the gateways. Right. I'm taking the tablets too. The suit keeps most of it off, though. As for your gateway problem, tell Sergei. That's what he's there for. Please copy me on any updates. Doesn't add up. I've been analyzing the fluctuations from the last perforation with Suin. It looks like there's energy entering the system from somewhere else. We've discussed the parameters, Sasha. They're within bounds. That's why we run tests, to figure out what's happening over there. The housing is shielded properly, so you'll just have to define what you're seeing. The only reason you have data is because Lenora went and got it. Don't forget whose neck is really on the line here. All of our necks are on the line, in the grandest sense. Lenora knows very well that I appreciate her work. I keep doing that, hitting escape to exit those. I think you can just hit... No, you just have to log out manually, fair enough. We're going to yoink as many iodine tablets as possible. I think the max you can carry is 5, I believe. But you do want to hold on to them. They reduce how much radiation you currently have, and they shield you from oncoming radiation for a short while. They're always good to have. But this is our first portal world. This is the Far Garden, which is our first taste of the extra dimensional adventures that will be on here in Abiotic Factor. Antiverse wheat is quite the staple. Dealing with these guys isn't too hard. These are X-Wars. They are inhabitants of Antiverse 2, as it were. The raw X-War heart is a very important ingredient towards further science. It really is quite a beautiful place. You might have noticed that we're getting agriculture experience from harvesting the Antiverse wheat. it is easily the fastest way to raise your agriculture level. The higher your agriculture level is, the faster plants will grow that you plant. So it's nice to get that as high as possible, because the faster they grow, the less water they use. I'll take the Geiger counter from this very unfortunate man here. So this will tell us about our current radiation levels and environmental radiation levels, like how much we're receiving from the current environment and how much is currently stored within us. It's not important to have, but it gives you a good expectation of your resistances to radiation and how much certain things in the environment give off radiation. By the way, the Gardener ability allows us to gain twice the experience from this antiverse wheat, so that's why it's giving such enormous chunks of experience to us. That is why I highly advise, especially if you're playing by yourself, to take as many perks as possible that increase your experience gains. Dodging these guys isn't too hard. You just want to make sure that you're not totally overweight. Well, that's a little unfortunate. I was really hoping to get another heart from that dude. But that's fine. I think that's about all the antiverse wheat that's here. No, just kidding.
Dr. Derek Manse reporting. Research Director, Gate Cascade Research Facility. Antiverse 2 is an enigma. A world made of worlds. Each of them different, yet seeded with similar life. We know a few certain facts. That energy moves more slowly there, making growth, evolution, and change a more gradual process. We know, too, that materials transplanted from Antiverse B to our own are energy-dense. Biochemistry occurs much more rapidly. But how did these creatures evolve? The presence of life, complex life, confounds everything we know about evolution. Was an external force involved? Only further study can tell us.
It is quite a beautiful place here. So, this is a little secret here. There's actually quite a few of these replica models all throughout the game so far, and they are really cute. I like them a lot. Ah, yes, so you can see that our max stack for iodine tablets is 5. You can't really carry a lot in the same square, but that's okay. You can wash yourself off in this sussy water pond. I'm sure that's fine. And aside from that, I don't think there's much else here that we really want. And we can see where this takes us, which this room here might actually look pretty familiar from the last episode. guess we can't get up there with just a normal jump. So, now we can unlock this door, which is getting blocked by door phantoms, and this takes us back to this area over here, next to the lift that we had used earlier. So normally you have to go through that portal in order to actually make progress, but again, we had taken the shortcut. So you might notice that we also have this interesting bubble effect going on. Whenever you exit out of a universe through the long ways portal, like the true exit, as it were, you gain some sort of buff, and this is the hygroscopic ability, and this will last for a little bit. Your body is absorbing moisture from the air, slowing your thirst for a while, which is at least something. This is a gaseous nest, which, according to any of the research, is a nest for any of the pest creatures. They're helpful in their own way. By the way, this water healer is much more dangerous than the other water that was electrified that we had encountered. Oh, hey. So, these are actually brand new.
Check-in approved.
At the start of new areas, these check-in stations are located, and I haven't seen this one before, actually. And they allow you to have an additional respawn point in addition to the default respawn area and your own respawn point made by your bed. So it gives you more options and to respawn at, which is a very handy feature. Let's go ahead and check through these offices to see if we're missing anything important. I think there's a Dr. Manse note in this room right here. Yes.
This is Dr. Derek Manse. As our understanding of perforation technology grows, we have discovered new facets of its physical laws. One of the most fascinating is temporal tethering. Each entry to an antiverse seems to start a timer, which resets after a given period, as though a band of time stretches before snapping back to its origin. I'm confident we will understand this phenomenon in time, but until we do, it violates a dozen scientific principles.
So, in addition to the TV that we had watched in the prior episode, this one, in fact, that explains how the portal worlds work and have infinite resources as long as you give them time to respawn those resources. Sorry, my brain kind of flatlined there for a second. But basically what Dr. Manse is explaining is that these portals will regenerate their resources, and it allows you to harvest infinite resources from said dimensions, which is pretty wonderful because that allows us to make sure that we don't run out of specific supplies as we make progress. I'm going to take this. Another stove that requires a reinforced hose, as it were. We can just put these in here. We don't really need that many at a time. Although, let's actually go ahead and bring this with us, and this will be for later on. That could have been worse. Go ahead and handle that angry pizza. This might be obvious on its own, but the suck cannon kind of trivializes all the pest enemies. Blue keypads. We may have an issue in the offices. The new security pods are walking security holes. I just learned from Mayfield they carry access data everywhere they go. Anyone who gets their hands on a CPU from one of the security bots could hack through any door in the sector. I appreciate the concern for safety, Richard, but we're confident in our security procedures. Someone would have to get into the facility to access the bots in the first place, and at that point, bigger problems. Miss Mayfield, Dr. Mayfield, was the lady we met as we came out of the shortcut in the first episode, who gave us the hacker recipe. If you don't meet her, then you can get the hacker, the first hacker recipe from this terminal in specific. Xers. I doubt it's a surprise to anyone, but these A2 entities are pretty dangerous. We analyzed the specimen you brought back. They're smart, but we can't tell if they're actually intelligent yet. Kath's running MCC tests, though it's hard. Their bioelectrical systems are off the charts. They keep frying our equipment. Also, we need an actual name for them. Xers? I've clarified this before. A2 is not Planet X, and it's not even just a planet. I don't know why this nickname is sticking around. Folks, it's Xor. I found them, I get to name them. Manse agrees that this is a fair rule. Begrudgingly, no doubt. These lads, in the spot we were just at. Night lights. Derek, I need any information you have on an IS that looks like glowing, floating lights. A sort of will-o'-the-wisp. I'm sure you know the one. It seems to react to glass or something. We don't have anything in containment like that, Bridget. I spoke to Dr. Riggs about it, and she hasn't encountered anything like that either. Let me know if that changes, but don't mention this to anyone. These are the anomalies that we run into at night. They are very helpful in their own way. And when we get back to base, we will actually make use of them. I don't know if we'll be able to hold on to these samples. Unfortunately, as you hold onto them, they degrade over time until they evaporate out of the glass containers that you have them in. Yes, we've got a Sector 3 map already. So this, right here where this elevator is a shortcut that we had opened up in the last episode. This office is where Dr. Mayfield is, and this is the vent that we had entered into this area from. Executive restroom. That's interesting to have on the wall like that. If I was an executive of any time, I wouldn't want my bathroom advertised to every single person here. Fortunately, that was a bit of my bad for not having a bolt loaded into my crossbow. Let's see, we can't get in there right this second, but we'll get in there soon enough.
Oh.
Unfortunately, the way through progress will be for making a hacker for ourselves, and we're going to have to murder quite a few robots in order to get that accomplished. So, we shall murder some robots. We got some of these seeds from the antiverse wheat that we harvested, which is very cool. They're a special type of seed, and as soon as we can, I'll show you what those go into. So there's a bit of a trick with those guys. When they charge up their electrical attacks and they go charging towards you, if you hit them with a bolt during that time, it forces their discharge off and it does extra damage to them, as far as I know. It's a nice little trick to know, to handling these guys. It also stuns them, so it gives you a chance to either go up and cut them up with your knife or load up another crossbow bolt. We'll go ahead and just leave this here for a second. We'll wash off. I don't know if we can make any massive gains in armor, but let's take a look and see if we can do that at all. Well, that didn't yield too much of interest. Although, if we quickly go and get some bioscrap, we can actually make use of these anomalies, which would be very ideal. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. We could scrap this meat, but I actually want all of that. Go ahead and put these in here for now. There's some meat we can harvest in this bathroom. The reliable bathroom meat. There we go. If you use the suck cannon on these guys, as you may have noticed, it does insta-kill them, essentially, but it is at the cost of any resources that you could harvest off of them. At least for the ones that you pick up in the cannon itself. So, you'll want to handle them the old-fashioned way. But the crossbow does offer essentially a one-hit kill on those guys, and it's a great way to get your experience up while you're at it. So let's harvest this flesh. And now we have made anomalous compost for ourselves, which is actually a huge advantage to gardening. We will want to make more garden plots soon, but I'm not sure exactly how many, if any, we can make right now. We also gained this, the super tomato concept. Super tomatoes are very good.
If you have not already evacuated the facility, consider this your top priority. Have a wonderful and productive evening.
In fact, we can make some of these right now. fruits of science. Yeah, I'm not sure if we... Yeah, we only have this one hose, unfortunately. We'll have to go harvest some supplies in order to actually make any more of those. But, you know, we can make some more shock traps to deal with our robot friends. So why don't we go ahead and do that while we can. Go ahead and top off our water needs real quick. Ah, yes, and we have this very adorable forklift next to the very adorable screaming in the background. Adorable. Alright, let's go handle this robot.
Oh, what'd you bring today?
Nothing for you. Ooh, getting a little reckless here. You can get about 6 hits on them safely while they're stunned if you go right in.
So I was pumping iron the other day.
Dear heavens. And this is why we carry 2 knives with us. That actually brought up one of the points I was going to make, but the shock traps, in addition to actually stunning the robots, it does deal damage to them as well. So that's why I built a whole bunch extra, because in the battle against Skynet here, they make a very big difference. We'll grab our bounty of resources. The CPUs actually drop out of those guys every time, like immediately, without having to carve up their corpses. But getting the other resources from them is highly advisable.
You know what they say, buy low, sell high.
Truly a terrifying creature. You know, we'll put this here for now. Actually, what we can do is kind of just leave the soda here, because we'll be getting plenty of that. And we can turn this in for some nourishment real quick. I'm absolutely going to use a healing syringe as well. This will give us a good chance to see exactly how much healing it does as well. So we're at about like 80% health, and we're actually rising up pretty quickly there, so they are a major advantage to have.
Hey, if you're tired, feel free to lay down. I won't tell the boss.
We're absolutely not going to lie down around that creature. There is another robot we can go attack, and we will go handle him post-haste, actually. It's easier to do so at night, because then you don't have to goad them out of their little robot charging stations. I'll go over this way. Might have missed our window a little bit, but let's see if we can catch this robot. Nah, unfortunately not, but we can make do with this. I don't know what we'll get out of these boxes, but let's go ahead and just get these out of the way now so we don't lose anything. Not a whole lot. These are very basic boxes. They don't really drop anything too critical. Go ahead and get some sneak attacks in on that guy. Kinda just narrowly dodge that. Unfortunate. He should fall pretty soon. Nice. That was actually a little bit cleaner than the other fight, too. Alright. I might as well show how this works with the platform cart recall system that's in the lobby. It would be good just to show off, just so we can get a good view of how that works. You just throw some things on here. The next robot is upstairs. We'll go ahead and, although I think it would be a good idea to go repair our equipment, because that is a problem, not having that in a decent shape. We can go get some rest while we're at it as well. I hope that you're having a good day or evening, wherever you are right now. I appreciate you joining me. I have found that these videos are actually more fun to do than I was thinking. And I was looking forward to them quite a lot, but I am actually really enjoying the whole process of working on and making these videos. It's therapeutic, and I appreciate that opportunity. We have plenty of metal, which is wonderful. Metal is a true necessity in this game. You really need it pretty much for everything. At the very least for repairs. So, I'll point out that when plants are fully grown, they no longer drain water out of the plot that they're planted in, which is extremely good. So once they're fully grown and in the harvest state, you don't have to worry about them dying in their planters, which is honestly a truly wonderful feature. I don't think I have any extra healing, but that's alright. We really do need some more garden planters so we can make some super tomatoes, however. Without those, life is going to be a little rough. We actually don't need this Geiger counter for much. I don't use them too terribly often, but again, if you're new to the game and learning things, it's an excellent tool for learning more about your environment and exactly how dangerous certain environments are. Oops. Short little break. I think for these guys, we'll just turn these right into bioscrap. It's a little more useful that way. Less radiation coming out of the fridge that we have to worry about. You don't have to shut the doors for this area. Like, if you're in a base or anything, like, while you're sleeping, it doesn't really matter. Nothing's really going to sneak up on you unless there's a dimensional rift incursion happening. But, oops. I just, I'm one of those people, like many, I would assume, that absolutely do not sleep with the doors open. Especially wide open. It's a pretty ingrained habit. I don't think there's anything we really need to grab from the base right now. We're gonna need more storage soon, but we have plenty of supplies for that. I just don't want to deal with that right this moment. We can honestly just leave the suck cannon there for now. We don't really need it, and it just takes up a spot, so it's going to be safe there on this charging station. We don't have to worry about it dissolving or anything. Although this dude's going to be worrying about us here in a moment. I'm cutting it very dangerously close with this. Ow. Well, this is what death looks like. This is the defense spawn, right next to Dr. Thule here, right where we first entered the facility. I suppose it's worth showing that off for the sake of documentation. And I'm not just using that as an excuse to make myself feel better for dying to an enemy that's easy to avoid dying to. The big issue with that is now this robot is full health, and that is very unfortunate. So, when you die, you drop one of these orange death bags, and they'll have all of your items. Less than thrilled without dying to this robot. These robots are an excellent reason to have the self-defense perk when you start the game. Because that 3 extra damage on top of the knife's base 3 damage means a world of difference. Oh, that's interesting, a reload menu. That must be a new feature. I think that's everything he got. And dropped for us, so we can head back to the base. By the way, the main thing about dying is that it reduces your health and thirst down to 50%, and it also takes durability off of your currently equipped equipment and everything in your hotbar, including battery drain. So, while the consequences aren't too terrible for dying, it's mostly an annoyance. It's pretty forgiving, honestly, in my opinion, compared to pretty much any other game, considering when you die, you drop your whole inventory that's in your backpack. Anything on your toolbar is safe, and equipped on your person, obviously, but everything else gets dropped into the death bag. And if that drops in a very dangerous area, that is a cause for concern, because if you already died there easily the first time, it's probably likely that you're going to keep dying there. go ahead and indulge in some sodas real quick. In a way, it's actually, I find it very forgiving that you don't have to, worry about thirst or hunger very much if you happen to die in this game. I suppose if you're playing a no-death run, then that's where the actual, like, real threat of dying is, but if you do die, then it's really not that big of an issue. Again, not unless you had a lot of important gear on you that you didn't want to lose in the first place. So, in the first episode, I mentioned that there are upgrades for our bench that we can make. And we're at crafting level 2, which means we can access the first tier of crafting upgrades. And we might actually be able to make this one here very soon. The Dioxohealer allows the bench to passively heal nearby players. And the more farmable plants nearby, the faster the healing. Up to 6 plants. It is a really cool upgrade, and makes a world of difference in recovery. We'll have to make that very soon, and we might be able to actually make that extremely quickly here. Let's see if we can get some more flesh. So you might have noticed, too, that whenever we take damage, we gain Fortitude experience. And that's at least one justification for not being super dodgy, because the more Fortitude you have, the higher your health pool is, specifically for your head in particular. So it's not all loss if you do get hit and take damage. It actually makes you stronger. Let's break these down. In fact, one of the biggest sources of bioscrap is from potatoes. They are very meaty yields of bioscrap in particular. We need 2 more. So we're getting there. Let's go ahead and take this and cook this meat for us real quick. Might as well. So we can pair some of our equipment as well. Four tomatoes, 4 potatoes. Nice. Why don't we go ahead and just do that? We'll make ourselves the Dioxohealer on the bench, and I'll show you exactly how strong it is. Let's see, we'll need some antiverse wheat as well, which... I could have sworn I had a little bit of extra. You know, it might be on the platform cart. I think I had it on me and then I put it on the cart. So, now I can show off the cart recall. So, teleports every cart here. You need to be a moderator on the server. But, it teleports all of the platform carts here and drops their inventory as loot spill bags. And there's our antiverse wheat, actually, and the medkit, which is why I took that earlier. That goes into the Dioxohealer. Let's go ahead and we can just drink this real quick, why not? Oh, metal scrap replaced it. Fair enough. That'll be good. So, now we can unlock this. And to add this little device onto here. Ooh, the meat's done. Nice. Wonderful. And you can see our health is pretty rapidly gaining. The Dioxohealer is a very handy tool to have on the bench. I would say it's, at least for permanent bases, and honestly even forward bases, it is exponentially helpful to take the time and put that on a bench, because it saves you a lot of time for healing. Now, I don't know if we can make any batteries, but we can, actually, and we have a lot of supplies to make those with, so why don't we make a few batteries real quick while we're here? Put these tomatoes away. Some other ingredients that we don't need immediately. Coils, yeah. Another thing that we have a wonderful supply of. That's fine. I'll just dump those all over the ground. Put these back. Now, we have a bunch of batteries. And these will allow us to store power for nighttime when that happens. Actually, that's what the big point of this TV is it emphasizes how useful batteries are in the first place. Good enough. We'll get all these daisy-chained together in another very not OSHA violation kind of way. Although, let's connect this guy to here instead.
Where's the bathroom?
That way we can attach that there, and it looks a little bit better. Perfect. So the blue bar shows how much drain is coming out of the batteries, or how much drain is being applied onto the said battery, and the yellow bar is the current charge level of the battery. They last a pretty good time, but when you have multiple things hooked up to it, like a fridge, a repair station, and a workbench, it does add up pretty quickly on the power drain. So, honestly, 6 batteries here is more than enough to keep all this powered pretty efficiently. Might as well repair. Oh, just kidding. Well, we don't need to repair that right now. Put the antivirus wheat in here. I think I saw something about the portals being reset. I think they should be reset by now. Which would be good because we need to get more Axor hearts. Although, why don't we see if we can make the hacker device for ourselves? We will need a few ingredients here. Screws, glow sticks. Yeah. Although, so, instead of getting all these materials and going through the process of managing our inventory of said materials, why don't we go ahead and see if the dimensional, or the Far Gardens has replenished. Which, again, I'm pretty sure when we were fighting one of the robots I saw that pop up, that the portal worlds all got reset, so we'll take a quick gander. By the way, you can throw knives and shivs and stuff. I don't really do that because it does damage to the knife, a pretty not insignificant amount, and then you don't have a knife anymore, unless you're carrying another one. Ah, good. So the portal world didn't reset, but the enemy respawn did have enough time to actually replenish, which is exactly what we wanted. Nice. Perfect. That's actually exactly what we wanted. So, you might be able to see it, but that Exor is actually bleeding from the wound we gave him. We are not the only ones susceptible to bleeding. That can turn the tide of a battle pretty quickly. That'll actually give us a refresh on the thirst buff as well. We'll go ahead and take the whole kit and caboodle on that. We've made it back home, safe and sound, and with 2 extra Exor hearts. Let me take a look and see what we need here. 2 Exor hearts and a brick of energy.
If you have not already evacuated the facility, consider this your top priority. Have a wonderful and productive evening.
So, with these ingredients, specifically the Exor hearts, the raw ones, we can make the item transporter for our workbench here, and it allows the bench to automatically access nearby containers when crafting recipes. This is one of the biggest upgrades for the bench, and easily one of the most useful. The Dioxohealer and the item transporter are 2 of the best upgrades, in my opinion. They make your life much, much easier, because now we don't have to get items out of the chests. We can just craft right at the station itself. Actually, I'm curious, can we put a medkit in a medkit? Technically, it's a medical item. No. It's all fair enough. I genuinely had no idea if that was even a thing. But now, making this hacker tool will be much less of a pain in the butt. Because now we can just make everything from the workbench without having to move at all. And I need a few of those. Not those things, though. Let's see, we'll want to go back to here. The previous recipe thing only goes so far, so that's one, not even complaint, but if it allowed you to go back multiple recipes, that would actually be extremely handy. Need one last one of these. Make the controller module. And then we now have the Mk1 Keypad Hacker, a hastily improvised piece of security spoofery, but no less impressive for it. Wonderful. So these devices actually have a dedicated slot. We can put them right in here so you never lose track of it and it never takes up an inventory space. Actually, just in time for nighttime and for us to rest. I'll take a quick rest here on our long office couch. Wonderful. We can probably just let the night keep going. We don't have to worry too much about anything terrible happening. We have a flashlight that's more than enough to handle everything else around us. We don't need these shock traps, so I think I'm going to... Actually, while we're at it, I'm going to make some more storage. It's just practical. We'll go ahead and stack these bad boys up. The small crates are very useful on their own, because they take up very little space, hold a bunch, and you can stack them on top of each other. Bravo. We can just stack those bad boys up in there. And we'll go ahead and make another one for food. Drinks, specifically. Stuff that's not going to expire, just so we have a place to put all of it. There we go. I love the way these anomalies sound. They're a little hard to grab sometimes. Their hitboxes are peculiar. But they're not too bad. Just don't go walking off a cliff because you weren't paying attention. Put that in there. Truth be told, iodine can actually go into medical boxes, so we might as well use that space to our advantage. There we go. Just the extra iodine that we don't need, otherwise that's going to stack and cause interference. We couldn't put bandages in there, but we want to always have bandages on us. By the way, you can name these containers, which I love, and it does help a lot with keeping track of stuff. Or it can, unless you memorize everything. There we go. Mostly just to show you how that works. It can make a huge difference when you're playing with friends. Well, we now have
Attention. This sector is under precautionary security
our
measures.
keypad,
Please remain in place and wait for security assistance.
and that on its own is some very big cause for celebration, because now we can access quite a bit more of the facility and get to one of my favorite places in this whole game. I'm very excited. But let's make sure that our inventory is handled before we go out on adventures. Go ahead and use that little exploit to put some anomalies in the fridge. It doesn't slow their decay down as far as I know. I'm mostly just doing that so I know where they are. Oh, so one thing that they added on is if a repair bench is in range of the crafting bench with an item transporter on it, it also gains the ability to use items from a distance. So now we don't even have to get the materials out of benches in order to repair items. A wonderful quality of life thing put in by the devs that is god tier, in my opinion. Let's go ahead and put that there. I think all my other needs are okay. We're a little hungry, but we're always going to be a little hungry, and where we're going, we won't have to worry about hunger too much. Alright, let's go to one of my favorite areas in the entire game. The loading in this game is a little rough. If you ever notice, like, the video lagging up a lot, it's because this game has a lot of lag at the loading areas. It's not terrible, I've certainly dealt with worse, but it is something to keep in mind. I'll go ahead and just put our crossbow in here because I don't have any bolts for it anyway. And it's not going to be useful for where we're going. Alright.
Did you get those CPUs from the security robots? I can't get my data until you make that hacker. You got it open! I was right! Looks like someone closed it from the inside. But who would do that? In the end, the science is all that matters. I couldn't live with myself if I had to abandon my data. I mean, what would the point of any of this be? Yes, I'm coming. I just need a little longer. In the end, the science is all that matters.
I mean, that is fair enough. If things have already gone this terribly awry, you might as well get the most out of it. Ow. I really thought the railing was going to block that. We can just leave these materials in this box for now, I think. That'll be fine. So there was a keypad up there, if you remember, and it's easy enough to get up there with a water cooler, but it's a level 2 clearance, and we do not have access to that yet. want to fall down there. This is a very nice place to recharge anything, just because there's 2 permanently charged stations here. This is a thing, and we'll get to that eventually.
Scientist! Do not reignite the rift. There are abominations within. My brethren crossed over to seal your folly. Is the cost of your knowledge not already clear? If you will not stop yourself, we will. We
I feel you, buddy. My allergies are pretty bad, too. Our first hazmat suit. It is nice to have, although we don't necessarily need it for this next area, incidentally. Power cell testing. Jim, I'm concerned we haven't field tested the power cells sufficiently. I told Anderson about them. He's worried we're relying on salt to keep Flathill in check. They've been tested. Containment systems, weaponry, even some of the personal transport prototypes. And please, they're sodium-based accumulators derived from our research into A2, not salt. The fuel cells are not the issue here, if you get my drift. Pests. Kathy, after studying IS-173's internal structure, I'm coming round to your theory. It shows clear morphic continuity with IS-0171. I agree. We're looking at a more complicated life cycle than we thought. I was talking to Dr. Tanku. She suggested the low entropy of A2 could theoretically encourage metamorphic life cycles. They're more energy efficient. Yes, that would also explain why anything from A2 proliferates so rapidly here. There's so much more available energy. Their metabolic rates must skyrocket. Exactly. They're probably starving. Honestly, that's me every single day. Tidy up. This one's all capitalized. Someone was not happy about this. Can we get some gosh dang, wow, swearing, organization down in manufacturing? It's amazing we can get anything done. I went down to see Varsha yesterday, and I was tripping over crates on every walkway, which are very much not up to even the basic safety standards. I know we don't answer to OSHA, but we'll be answering to Keystone if we have an accident down there. It's a work in progress. Just try to keep your tie from getting stuck in one of the machines, okay? Yeah. That's encouraging. Should probably take a look, or at least browse through some of these real quick. Antiverse 2A, the Far Garden. In accordance with transluminal modeling, Gates' second perforation experiment grounded itself in one of the largest bodies of mass in Antiverse 2, its unfathomably old heart. Temporal tethering. Why do portal worlds reset? One of the most fascinating aspects of perforation technology is temporal tethering. Each entry to an antiverse seems to start a timer, which resets after a given period, as though a band of time stretches before snapping back to its origin. I am confident we will understand this phenomena in time, but until we do, it violates a dozen scientific principles. Warren Bunning, security officer. Sydney Sider turns subterranean security specialist. I too enjoy alliteration. Dr. Ulrich Thulwe, Mr. Coffee aficionado. Dr. Derek Manse is the research director, and he's the man we find all these logs of. Director of Research at the Gate Cascade Research Facility. T.R. Anderson, responsible for overseeing and implementing containment processes and protocols across all Gate facilities. We mostly get all this information from emails. The more email addresses we uncover, the more people we get added to our database. Dr. Hilda V. Dixon, Gate TR operator and field researcher. Dr. Richard K. Moyer, office sector supervisor, a bureaucrat who believes enlightenment is impossible in the absence of order. Dr. Lenora Riggs, trans recon operator, resourceful researcher and hardened survivor. Dr. Suan Tenku, physicist, discoverer of a new hyperluminal form of bosonic matter she hopes to name the Tenkuan. That's all we have for now on that. And then we have our registry of entities. Carbuncle, ISO 171A. Containment protocols. IS 0171A is to be isolated by a perimeter cordon with a radius of 12 feet or greater at all times. No personnel may approach within 10 feet unless wearing full face and body protective wear, conforming to GISP bioprotective standards at all times. Full decontamination required on all equipment exposed to IS 171A. Originating in Antiverse 2, IS 0171 is a stationary, sessile entity that traps its food with a retractable tentacle. Although highly aggressive, the creature is more of an encumbrance than a threat to larger prey. Pest. IS-173A is to be separated from researchers by barriers of minimum of 8 feet in height at all times, unless the subject is sedated or dead. Acoustic baffling is suggested for all containment environments and loud noises, or use of power equipment is strongly discouraged. Subject is to be fed remotely. This creature is also weak to blunt damage. Small and omnivorous, IS-0173A is an aggressive monopod that attacks its prey with a highly extensible tongue. While it is clearly a subspecies of similar specimens, IS-0173A also shows a degree of morphic continuity with other antiverse creatures such as IS-0171 and IS-178. 0178. Kill 1,000 pests to unlock this entry. Interesting. That must be new, I've never seen that. The Peccary. Any containment space for IS-0178A specimens must measure no more than a 3x3 meters square, ensuring the subject is unable to attain a velocity greater than 5 meters per second. All walls and flooring should be reinforced to GISP standards for blast shielding and be electrically grounded to 2 megavolts. Subjects must be contained separately and fed remotely. It too is weak to blunt damage. Colloquially dubbed a peccary, IS-0178 is a quadrupedal predator that uses psionic energy to hunt its prey. Preliminary research suggests that these abilities are much higher wattage here in our own universe, where energy concentrations are comparatively higher than the severely entropic Antiverse 2, which is its home. Kill 50 peccary to unlock this entry. Interesting that it's not keeping track of the pest kills that I have, because I should have much, much more than this. That's interesting. I wonder if that's a bug. XOR. All containment facilities for IS-0184, so many numbers, require Grade 4 impact shielding and or Grade 5 blast dampening in accordance with GISP ratings. All personnel conducting research on the subject must wear Grade 4 body armor with full electrical grounding, even when subject is sedated or unconscious. Direct interaction in any state is not advised. IS-0184A should not be exposed to any flammable materials. Feed remotely. A bipedal hunter with a sophisticated bioelectric defense adaptation, the Exort was first discovered in 1987 by Dr. Lenora Riggs. This one's not keeping track of these either. Interesting. The nocturnal anomaly has no information. It is a very mysterious thing that not even the people here had any information on. Exort Monk. Containment protocols. All IS-0184B subjects require heavy shielding and perforation suppressing containment. All immirant sites must avoid geomagnetically and telurically active locations. There's so many scientific words here I'm learning. I feel my brain's wrinkling as we speak, or just becoming even smoother. Failsafe connection to backup power is required at all times, as even a microlapse in suppression field risks containment failure. The subject cannot be approached unless sedated and should be fed remotely. It is weak to blunt damage. And there's some other crucial bits of information. Maybe that's why it wasn't counting those kills, because we hadn't unlocked those other entries first, which is fair enough. But I believe that should be all the new information in our log. I felt like it would be prudent to go over some of that. Back up from that very loud thing. So, getting a little bit of radiation, you can tell by the specs we have on the screen. You're about to venture out of the facility for a while. You'll be able to return through a return portal, but you may want to do a little preparation, like bringing some food and ensuring you're well rested. If you die in a portal world, you can choose to respawn at the portal world entrance, or at another spawn point in the facility. Let's go to my favorite area. We are now in Flathill. Inspired maybe by another game that has Hill in the title. I love this place. So, as a portal world, there's always a flashlight here. If you need one, and don't want to make one of those makeshift flashlights, that is the option for you. There is actually power here, although we don't have any real use for that right now. I turned down the music just a hair. So this is the portal the message was referring to. We can go back to the lab anytime, we're not just stuck here, which is nice. Get some food for ourselves. These are very nice. They give us a hunger fill of 30. Something lurks in the fog. We might as well get some salt while we're here. As you can imagine, if you somehow lose all access to tomatoes in the normal world, you will be able to get tomato seeds here. should make us very nearly copacetic. Close enough. This is a huge stove with 8 burners that are always active. Very handy. If you end up making any sort of base here. We actually do need some hose, so we'll definitely take any of that with us. Delicious. Applies brain freeze. I mean, if you ate an entire gallon of ice cream, yeah, I suppose you would actually get some brain freeze. And we learned the recipe for...
contain this much longer.
The root beer float. I knew there was going to be a bathroom, so... might as well use the one here. Incidentally, I think this is one of my favorite paintings in the game. Just as obnoxious in real life. Another flashlight. It's good to know where these are, so in case you somehow lose your flashlights, or if you have new players coming into the world, you can grab plenty from this area.
At last you are here.
I might actually take a quick screenshot while I'm here.
The Crusaders, you're not one of them. You want out? Of course you want out. Like them, the giants. You are trapped here. But shut down the devices. Your devices. Remove the power cells. 1, 2, 3. You'll have your way out. But what then? When you've opened your door, what then? Eh?
Actually, I did a little bit of a boo-boo. I'm gonna go ahead and repeat that conversation. That is one nice feature, is that if you hold F here to repeat the conversation, in case you need to hear it again or want to hear it again, in case you didn't even hear it the first time, you have the option to do that. But I realized that there were no subtitles for all that because I had turned off the HUD to take that screenshot. So let's go ahead and just listen to this guy one more time.
You want out? Of course you want out. Like them, the giants. You are trapped here. But shut down the devices. Your devices. Remove the power cells. 1, 2, 3. You'll have your way out. But what then? When you've opened your door, what then? Eh? Your people would not open the way, but they are gone. The Crusaders saw to that. So there's no one to stop you. The devices prevent portals, prevent the prevention, and problem solved. The way was closed. Remove the cells, and the way will open. Your people would not open the way, but they are gone. The Crusaders saw to that. So there's no one to stop you.
This gentleman is, interesting, to be certain. So when we unlock these doors, they will stay unlocked on future visits. It's good to unlock as many as you can. Power cells. Hi, Jim. What's the operating lifespan on the Flathill containment system? How long do the power cells last? Don't worry about it. They're high-density sodium cells, good for at least a month, but I'd wager longer. There's plenty of redundancy in the containment system, too. You'd have to pull out all 3 to reopen the gateway. Access to the rooftops is restricted, and anyway, no one would be crazy or stupid enough to do that. Yeah, that's it. If you ever need additional hazmat suits, there's one that spawns here in this truck on portal resets. So, we'll definitely want one of these for later. Getting one is a little bit of a pain in the butt, and we only really need 1 or 2. But we'll see how many we get on the first trip here. They're very heavy as well, so... Oh, nice. These things are incredibly dangerous. I was looking for something in particular there, but there wasn't one spawned. The smelliest of all water. Some pipes down here if you need them. There's even vending machines here. The reason I'm breaking these down is because these things will actually despawn when the world resets, so we don't have to worry about cleaning up any of this. And it makes for a great construction experience. Flathill. Harmonia. Fidget. Go ahead and wash the filthy sewer water off of us real quick. We'll leave that guy right where he is. There's not much up in here, but this is where you can get a white backpack if you want it. So, if you want something aesthetically pleasing, you can grab the quite clean-looking basic backpack up here. Although you'll notice that this security back that gives us a capacity of 21 is still way better than the basic backpack. The one that we got underneath the cubicle office in that little secret area is still outperforming very valiantly. We'll go ahead and look around a little bit. There's a nice charcoal backpack over here. these doors are normally locked, but we can... Oh, that one's not locked. I think this one is, though. Oh, that one's not locked either. Interesting. I'm using crouch jumps to get up, then. Makes life a little bit easier. These ones are locked. Ah, so the message down there says Portal World resources have reset. Some did not reset due to active scientist presence or discovery of a world that has been reset. So the Portal Worlds all reset at once, but if you recently discovered them, or if there's someone currently inside those worlds, the portals do not reset until the next cycle. And that just happened at the midnight of, that's Wednesday. Yes, up here in the journal it highlights what day it is specifically. Let's go ahead and gain some construction experience real quick. So as you might imagine, this is a great place to come if you need additional computer-based resources like coils, power supplies, circuits, tech scrap. Even if you need some desk lamps, this is the place to come. And like I said, all of this will despawn, so we don't really have to worry about this all building up and making a gigantic mess. Although, the flip side, that should be worth noting that if you don't want to lose anything, don't leave it around in the portal worlds. However, anything that you put down in place for future visits, for instance, will actually be there when you return, and they will persist through portal resets. I can actually prove that example by showing what happens with a desk lamp here. So that lamp will actually permanently be there unless it's destroyed or we remove it. It will not get reset from the portal resets. If we could actually get one of these couches, that would be very nice, because that allows us to make beds. The big deal about raising construction is it increases your chance of getting furniture instead of breaking it when you go to package it, so that's why I'm actually bothering to do it at all. Having that higher is much better than not. You might notice I'm in the permanent spine damage zone, so we're going to go ahead and fix that here momentarily. Now, we can leave that here, and when we need the space, we can... Or when we need these items, we can recall them back to the lobby. Let me take a gander about what else I want to put on this cart real quick. I think that just about does it. I want to hold on to a little bit extra because I would like to build up my strength while I'm doing all this. So here's our first power cell. The power cells give us some extremely cool recipes. What's nice about these recipes, like the 4-item recipes, is like, you don't need to figure anything out, you just need to put all the things into the right spots. I haven't built one of these yet, but I'm excited to. I think this will be a really cool thing to have. test trap is something we got from the nachos that we had obtained. Feed trapped pests certain foods to tame them yourself and make a spiky pet. We'll definitely show that off soon. It's pretty cute. Now this is why I suggested that we don't go straight for grinding reloaded experience with the crossbow, because once we get this thing, it is an amazing way of raising your experience with reloading. It's also an extremely powerful weapon. See, we have these. Truth be told, I actually never make this equipment, but might as well make it. Or put the recipes together to show that it exists. See, it's a little hard to see against that background. Hold on. I was going to say, because we can get a better idea of the armor. Oh god. Step away from the loudest dimensional rift in the universe. But when you're wearing this particular set of armor, any of the makeshift armor, you get a set bonus for wearing 2 to 4 pieces of it. For this one, it increases your weight capacity by 30 with the 2, which is handy. I don't know why I thought cloth went into that one. Ah, yes. A classic combination of froth and animal fats. I wish I had a root beer float right now. So, I actually want to show you something that my friend figured out that blew my mind. It's definitely skips some progression, but I do want to show it off, just because. You want to go over here, and then up onto this. We'll go here, and go right here. And this allows us to actually skip this entire area. Because that door's normally locked. But we're going to go the normal way, because I definitely want to show that off. This is a really cool spot. God, I haven't been bowling in so long. I would kill to go bowling again soon. Nice, that's something out of each machine there. We can actually just steal this entire arcade machine if we want to. Although it is quite heavy, to say the least. Go ahead and take one of these game posters. Like I mentioned in the first episode, Unfortunate Spacemen is actually another game that Deep Field Games made. We're absolutely stealing this cabinet. You cannot engage in DDR with your fellow scientists, or by yourself, unfortunately. Ooh, yeah, we definitely want to... definitely want that. You can go ahead and get this unlocked. This leads next to kind of where we started. There's this truck here, where that dude is. And this is a shortcut to the arcade. All these doors are blocked, unfortunately, but it's not too big of a deal. Flathill Syrup Company. High fructose corn syrup. Yeah. The power of corn is never to be underestimated. The dead linger. It's pretty much a game about me. You can get slushies here. You can't take the machines with you, but they do go into some ingredients. Or recipes, more so. The slushy bomb. Can really put a chill on any encounter. I haven't used those myself. It might actually be pretty helpful. Another industrial stove with 8 burners. Pretty cool. So the thing about these nachos, and why I would never eat them, is they never go bad. They're dusty old nachos, and they give you radiation. I'm not so sure about how healthy that would be. I would certainly consider eating pretty much anything else before that. Another unfortunate spaceman poster. Hello. Can't steal the food bar menus. Have some bathrooms. I think we're good on the bathroom needs for now. Plenty of money, a nice chair, a rug that you can get. Let's see, can I drop anything? We can just consume this real quick. And we have frozen in place. They're very, very cold slushies.
Dr. Derek Manse reporting, Research Director. IS-046 seems to sing to itself, if you could call it that, emitting a series of resonant tones suggestive of communication. The cavities that create these sounds appear to be the same cavities the creature uses to ingest anyone who comes within reach.
Yeah. So this is the point that we skipped to, that we jumped over those railings for. But let's go ahead and go back to our cart real quick and just drop off some of this extremely heavy stuff like the arcade cabinets. There we go. Much better. In fact, let's I don't don't know if this will help us with our stamina, but this will give us a little bit of boost to our fatigue so we don't get terribly exerted. Not really doing too much, but that's okay. By the way, it's worth noting that these cells on their own emit well, not extreme radiation by themselves, they emit moderate radiation, and that's kind of why they give you the hazmat suit right before this area, and they include another one in that truck. You definitely want to be wearing one while you're transporting these around, because just mixing these two together creates high radiation from these bad boys, and they will irradiate the heck out of you. However, mixing a lead vest and a hazmat suit removes a tremendous amount of the radiation, so they're much safer to move around as such. Alright, let's venture through this library of terror. One rule of note for this area, not that it matters that much if you're watching this and learning about all the things, but all of the red doors are essentially non-accessible. We want to look for yellow doors here. Reminds me a lot of Mirror's Edge in that regard, actually. Yeah, that's an issue. That was definitely a bit of a mistake. That's interesting. That door used to unlock. It's a little concerning. And we're going to run. We can, however, unlock this. Unfortunately, with this dude on our case, it's going to be a little tricky accessing this other area. I'm gonna have to de-aggro him. I think standing over here should do it. Although, I might be mistaken about that. If there's any wood around here, we can actually splinter up our legs real quick after that very bad fall that we suffered. There we go. This quick heal menu, by the way, is, you get that by holding down X. I recommend keeping that in mind all the time because it will save you some serious time. And it might save your life. Alright, the other dude has pieced off, so we can peacefully go back up here now. I love this area so much. It's just so cool looking. So here's access to some tainted water, but with a little bit of purification that can be made fresh. I actually wish that you could grind up your iodine tablets and use those to purify water, just like real life. But it's fair enough, because these are like tablets you can take that are meant to be ingested, whereas purification iodine, like in the concentrations needed for water cleaning, is extremely toxic. So I can understand that these pills wouldn't be strong enough, but it would be a cool way of another way of purifying water. Mainly because boiling it is very arduous. Got that shortcut unlocked, which is a big help. Locked. We're authorized personnel, I'm pretty sure. Might as well look at that compendium data. Gate Crown Control Facility. Perforation Site 0. The town of Flathill's position at the nexus of continent-wide telluric and geomagnetic currents made it the perfect place for Gate to commence its first perforation experiments. Their first successful portal experiment took place in 1987, with a briefly stable connection to Antiverse 1. The Composer. Effective containment of non-adjusted IS-0064 specimens requires the facility be located at least 2,000 meters away from any perforation phenomenon. All locations are to be equipped with perforation-suppressing fields, backup power, and fully hermetically sealed. Acoustic baffling is recommended, as the long-term effects of exposure to the composer's songs are currently unknown. Subjects appear to be constrained in their territorial movement by geomagnetic and telluric currents endemic to the local area. This process is poorly understood at present. An alternate theory proposed by Dr. Abe Stern suggests that IS-0064's exploration of the local area is limited by conditions of its home antiverse, which now obtrude in the vicinity of Flathill. Evidence for this possibility is still pending. Marion, an acolyte, that strange fellow we met earlier. One of the few remaining denizens of Flathill, Marion worships the composers like gods, convinced that they are harbingers of a greater fate. Well, he certainly knows how to pick out an area with strong aesthetic features. I'm tempted to take this refrigerator with us now, but it's going to put us in the red immediately. I think I'll hold off on that for the time being. Well, let's go ahead and at least put it somewhere else, a little more advantageous.
Could use a short nap.
We're getting very tired, which is a little detrimental. It does slow us down quite a bit. we'll be good to finish up this area. Might as well find some relief real quick. Just looking to see if there's anything hidden in there. With all the updates they do to this game, I'm always curious about stuff that they've added in areas I've already been to. If you need lamps, this is a place to get them. We don't really need a lot of this right now, though. Composer. Are you sure IS-0064 is contained in Flathill? What's to stop it from leaving? I'm still waiting on your report. T. We can't be perfectly certain, but everything we're seeing suggests it's localized to Flathill. It seems erratic to us, but we've noticed some patterns. It seems to compose melodies of sorts. Reports coming. I've been busy. So we've got a new Mozart on our hands?
Could use a short nap.
I need more than that, Hilda. It'll be in my report, but I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed. They're part of the fog phenomena, but we lost any chance to explore their origins once we installed the containment system. They may actually generate the fog, but last time I suggested researching it, you said I was blowing smoke, remember? We'll discuss it. Very ominous. CCU cleanup request. We have reason to believe one of the Flathill residents is investigating our office structure. He's been turned away by security twice. Is this an operative concern? Confirmed. They appear to have been compiling a dossier of sorts. The exposure risk is significant, even if no one believes him. What are the considerations? Limited. The resident is an outlier from the community and regarded as something of a screwball. I believe we have scope. We have dispatched contractors to resolve the matter. Hygiene protocols apply. Acknowledged. Cleaning underway. There's some seriously suspect things going on here at this quiet little town.
Dr. Manse reporting. On the advice of Keystone, Gate has established a facility here in Flathill. We judge it unwise to advertise our activities, so for the time being our presence is, necessarily clandestine, if not a bit syrupy. The location was selected for the convergence of certain geomagnetic forces that amplify the power of our perforation equipment. We stand poised on the brink of an entirely new technology. I'm convinced of it.
Indeed. Yeah. Definitely grabbing this little guy. I was hoping to take the long way around. We made beautiful music. That sure was unfortunate. I genuinely forgot that door was unlocked, or locked. Whoops. But you know what? I was about to make my way around because I forgot that there was a, Dr. Manse recording that we had missed, so let's go ahead and listen to that, now that we've been reincarnated. And now we're not tired anymore. I do think death should be a little more punishing by default. Like, you should start off, like, I don't know, maybe tired and at least with some of your needs down, or like with a bad debuff or something. Like experience gain is reduced, or your hunger and thirst go down faster for a little bit or something. Post reincarnation sickness or something like that would be pretty cool. Oh dear. Fortunately, our belongings did not get turned into beautiful music as well.
This is Dr. Derek Manse. I'm pleased to confirm the first Flathill perforation was a success, although the geomagnetic convergence was stronger than we anticipated, allowing an entity to pass across IS-064, perhaps the largest we've yet logged in our immurement registry. Indeed, the events here in Flathill have advanced our understanding of perforation by orders of magnitude. I regret the contamination and consequent, closure of the township, but I am more confident than ever in Gates' ability to develop a functional portal network. What we learn here will alter the history of our species, and maybe we can finally stop flying economy.
Oh, ha ha ha. Hilarious joke at the expense of this entire town. There we go. All right. 3 power cells, and our goal here is completed. We now have fog-brained for a time. Our stamina drains at a slower rate. Certainly handy. Let's go ahead and unlock these doors. There's some interesting physics on these things. I see a little red thing down there. I'm not sure what that is, if anything. It's like that little bit of meat in the corner or something. I wonder if that's a bit of terrain sticking up through that. Ah. These are 2 of my favorite NPCs in the game.
That was a very, very bad idea.
Just breathe, Abe. We'll get through this just fine.
It knows we're here, Janet. There's nothing holding it back. Flathill is open.
You'll have to forgive my colleague, Abe. He's had a bit of a shock. We tried to get out through Flathill, and, well, some people died. Then, some genius deactivated the composer containment system. So, clearly, we need to find another exit out of here. And that's looking like manufacturing west. I don't exactly enjoy the idea, but our options are limited.
The fog is coming. Janet, what are we going to do?
We're going to head through manufacturing, then take the surface tunnel out of here. When you're ready, Abe. So, just try to calm down.
Manufacturing? It's huge. We'll never make it. I'm 83% sure we're doomed.
I told you, it's gonna get worse before it gets better.
Why are you still here? Are you insane?
What are you waiting for? Get to manufacturing. We'll be along as soon as Abe's feeling better.
We need weapons. Big laser guns.
Sure, Abe. We'll get you your big lasers. Listen, we're not staying here 1 minute longer than we have to. I just need to look after my colleague first.
Abe has the right idea.
This song, it was beautiful. Terrifying, but beautiful.
Abe, please pull yourself together.
The fog is coming. Janet, what are we going to do?
We're going to head through manufacturing, then take the surface tunnel out of here. When you're ready, Abe. So, just try to calm down.
This we will not be able to open for a good long time, but it's good to know where these are. And going through Flathill has allowed us to unlock a lot of doors here. Let's go ahead and get back home. Looks like the robot murdered a lot of things over here. You do technically gain more strength for being in the pink of your carrying capacity, but it's very easy to go into the pure red at that point. That's usually why I stick to just yellow, and you get slowed down quite a bit. While we're here,
Attention.
This
sector is under precautionary security measures. Please remain in place and wait for security assistance.
the cart transportation system also works for interdimensional travel. So, having a platform cart on you is a very cool way of acquiring a lot of resources without having to go make multiple trips to places. Let's see, I'm just over 2 hours on this session. I might go for a little bit longer.
Warning, biological incursion detected. Please alert defense team personnel. Air quality bulletin. Absolute humidity exceeding nominal levels. Dehumidification in progress.
Ugh. Well, that was messy. Let's make sure we harvest this next worm. Grab that delicious heart. So, what is really cool is that these containers also, like the transport carts, also count towards being in the range of these benches. So, they too will get their materials drawn from these benches with the item transporter. Very cool feature, in my opinion. Let's see, we now have these power cells, and we don't quite have the materials to make something that'll resist the radiation, but that's okay. We now have an extremely handy handgun. It's so handy, in fact, I'm going to make 2. We'll need the 3rd power cell. There was a brief moment, I don't know if I don't think I pointed it out, but when we were talking to the man that was wounded near the forklift, we needed an energy cell, and he mentioned that we could get them from Silo 3. That was the whole goal of why we went into Flathill in the first place, to get a power cell, and now that we have one, we'll be doing much better on our own. Progress will swiftly come. Still lacking hoses, unfortunately. But I can at least make one of these. To recharge this flashlight pretty badly. We could make a bed if we wanted to. I think I will actually do that. It's not imperative, but it does have a little bit of a faster fatigue restoration, and we'll actually be bringing it with us to our next destination. Let's see, we'll want to make some ammo for our newly acquired weapon as well. That should do us. That's 40 shots. So, what's really cool is this thing reloads very quickly compared to the crossbow. And what you can do is, if you have 2 of them especially, you can use them to very quickly grind up your reloading and strength at the same time with these 2 vending machines. using the kind of dead time between shakes and stuff to make the most out of it. There's a reloading skill. I'm not going to do this for too terribly long, but I think I can at least grind a little bit of experience out that. And we got some free snacks. Delicious farm puffs. These farm-to-table cheese puffs, just like Mama used to make. Let's check in on our reloading skill. We just got reloading, our first reloading skill, which is Ammo Crafter. We craft ammo twice as fast now. Very cool. We have Athletic, so things that cost stamina might not cost any stamina at all. We can package small deployables twice as fast from having our construction up high enough, which is very nice. When harvesting wild plants, you receive 1 extra harvest. That's pretty wonderful. The recipe for anomalous compost, which we did make some of that earlier. Soupsmith. We can make soups at level 3 cooking. Very cool. Clean Cutter. We have a 25% higher chance to not get bioscrap when cutting up bodies. That's from level 5 melee, from sharp melee. Level 3 sharp melee allows us to throw sharp melee weapons, which is something I mentioned earlier on. But these things are very powerful, these pipe pistols. They do 50 damage, which is pretty nuts in comparison to our crossbow, which did 26 damage. There's a little bit of a delay on them firing. I'll go ahead and show you that. But, God, they are strong. Just so powerful. Actually, the delay seems to have been reduced too. Those took like a little bit longer to fire. They must have reduced that recently. That's not too bad. You do kinda... It is a little bit advantageous to go full pirate with these things and carry around a few of them, because as you can see, they only hold 1 round at a time. But that's honestly a pretty good payoff for how much damage these things do. So let me think, we just got a garden planter down, so that will allow us to actually grow super tomatoes now, which would be tremendously helpful. So let's go ahead and get that planted. We can go ahead and take this off as well. There we go. And we have some compost we can put in there. And that'll speed up the growth process of that plant pretty significantly. Always a good time. We have our composer figurine. Very cute. A little terrifying, but pretty cute. Go ahead and swap this. Put that there. And we can put our clock over here. I don't think these don't tilt at all, really. Oh, no, they do. Okay. This is fair. Perfect. Now, we could make some armor for ourselves. I'm debating about how useful that would be, but I think it might actually be useful to have at least a little bit. It's better than nothing. this will also, these are some of the lighter pieces of the armor, I believe. I believe the chest plate weighs a little bit more. Oh, no, that weighs the same. But you need a filing cabinet for that one. And 2 of these is enough to get that, Employee of the Week bonus. So, that has increased our weight capacity by 10. Not a bad trade-off, although it costs 7 to get in there, so we only gained 3 extra pounds on that, technically. Although, armor that you're weighing doesn't add on to your actual weight, so you can kind of see that happening right there. So, actually, I suppose I was wrong then. We don't lose anything big on that one, which is pretty cool. I am going to ditch the lead vests. It has mostly served its use, and now that we have a hazmat suit, which weighs actually quite a bit less than the lead vest, we really don't need the lead vest anymore. Whereas it does provide a little bit of armor, the weight on it is pretty excruciating. I'd much rather just wear this helmet and be happy with that. Go ahead and repair this as well. Oh, you know, we could show off a little thing real quick, actually. I think I'd really like to do that. Ooh, let's grab these potatoes. Make some bio-scrap so we can make some extra fertilizer. Since we have some anomalies that we can make use out of. We have this 9mm ammo, but nothing to use it with. However, there is something that we can go get pretty soon here. So, I think we could go do that. Actually, you know what? We can take this power cell while we're at it. Make good use of it. Everything else here we can kind of just leave for now. We really don't need a lot of this. Although... we can set up some of these. We can make a cool little game zone for ourselves real quick. Why not? That one can actually just stay off. There we go. Good times. With some extra desk legs, we can just kind of stack these in here because they're a pain in the butt to stack up, honestly. I don't think there's anything else we really need to sort through on this. We can certainly leave that right there for now. We definitely don't need that. And yeah, we have a power cell. We're good to go. We don't have any... There's one thing I do want to make, actually, before we head out. It's in the subcomponent section. We need a controller. So let's go ahead and make one of those. Now we can head out. I suppose I could actually bring the platform cart with us. We might as well. I'm going to put these in storage because those are definitely not fun to carry around with us. Leave those there. Ah, that's right. I do not envy Warren's position here. But we can get this cute little guy. Not a bad base. Definitely grab that while we're here.
Reckon I'm leaving here? I don't think so. Radio's dead, half the doors are buggered, and now there's these little hoppy things everywhere. You're on your own.
But look, if anything useful turns up, I'll chuck it into the machine over there. You like peas?
Alright, let's go ahead and get rid of this power cell first. This will open the way to further progress.
Try level 3. The power cells. Energy research team.
We'll go ahead and to this next area over here first. Well, we'll just get this unlocked at least. Because I don't know if there's a hacker pad on the other side of this thing. There isn't. You might be able to open it from the other side, but we'll just open that ahead of time. Oh. Oh god. Hi. Ooh, this is going to be a little scary.
Stop!
those things are like mini-bosses, and they are very, very scary. Especially with the equipment that I have right now. Ugh. Those are Symphonists. They are very strong. It's actually very nice that there's a healing syringe in here. It's good timing. Ugh. So, those are like sub-entities of Flathill, and they are aggressive, to say the least. They're extremely durable as well.
I can feel my blood sugar falling.
With the heads from those things, we can make the Symphonist Scarecrow, a horn-based stationary weapon to turn away creatures from the fog. I haven't used this thing. I'm not sure exactly what it does, but it might be pretty useful considering how much of a pain in the butt it is to kill Symphonists. But with the Hacker, we can open up this very nice area. And the reason why we made a controller is because this shutter actually requires this. And if you have the controller in here, then it makes it so these shutters will actually stay shut. Without the controller, they will reopen themselves. Let's go ahead and repair some of these things. Go ahead and get this open. But before we go in there...
Do you have any idea what's going on? Oh, have you only got blue clearance too? I've been hiding here since those goons attacked that poor technician down there. Is he even still breathing? I can't bear to look. Something's happened to the perforation system. The portals have gone haywire, but that shouldn't be able to happen. I wish I knew what was happening in labs right now. Oh, I'm staying right here. Anything else is crazy. If the portal system has malfunctioned, there's no telling what could have found its way into the facility. I don't know what happened. They're saying evacuate, but have you seen what's prowling around out there? Clearly some escapees from the wildlife pens. Things must be really bad if we can't even keep basic containment protocols in check. Good luck out there. Oh, I'm staying right here. Anything else is crazy. If the portal system has malfunctioned, there's no telling what could have found its way into the facility.
That's certainly fair enough. If I had seen the Symphonist outside, I wouldn't be leaving this fucking office either. I mean, pardon me, this, hacking office. I think I can get away with one F-bomb without YouTube nuking the video into the ground. Not that I even want any monetization off these videos. I just don't want to get, like, restricted or anything. I don't know how the whole process works, but the only thing I know for certain is YouTube is brutal. However, speaking of brutal, we now have a handgun. If we come here with our Class 1 clearance, it allows us to obtain such a thing. And it's not bad. It does 26 damage a shot, but it has a capacity of 8, which is much better than the pipe pistol, certainly. The door that we hacked earlier leads right here.
Could use a short nap.
This area is actually a really phenomenal base if you're playing with a lot of people, I'd imagine. There's a lot of room, and there's a bathroom right over here, and it comes with an enormous amount of storage already in these lockers. If you are using these lockers, you really don't even have to worry about building any storage. It's a cool spot. I think that's why it's so unique, in that it has the shutter controls over there. Though, I am quite partial to the first security booth where you start the game at. You know, let's go back to our bed. Although, we can open up a shortcut while we're here. Now that we've gotten this open. Construction lights are pretty cool. I'm nearing the 3-hour mark, actually, so I think I'll be ending the video here shortly, but I think I'll go into manufacturing just a little bit first, just so we have something new and exciting to look forward to on the next episode. Oh. Well, that was abrupt. Didn't used to do that. That shutter appears a little broken. But I was thinking it would be good to actually grab this bed, but let's go ahead and take a nap first. Plus, this will recover our tired status very quickly. Also, while you're in the menu for your stats, you can keep jumping, and if you spam this, you can actually see yourself how much of a difference jumping over the pests will make in your dream. Could accelerate time a little bit, but it's really not that big of a deal. Let's just go ahead and skedaddle. At the very least, we can water our wonderful plants while we're here. Dump those. We can just kind of bring the water container with us. Oh, we can drop off this as well.
My glucose levels are dire.
We're starving just a little bit, but that's fine. I think it might be prudent as well to go show you what the a certain button that we encountered does too, and we can get there pretty quickly, so let's go ahead and do that. Just because I want to show you manufacturing for the first time as it should appear. The pipe pistol is very strong. One-shotting those guys is very helpful. Alright, let's go ahead and get this fog sorted out. Broken pieces. So this activates the emergency venting system, and that is very good if you want to get rid of the fog. Go ahead and wash ourselves off at this fountain real quick. By the way, I do like this fountain. It is a very beautiful piece. The aesthetics of this game are, in my opinion, quite soothing and gorgeous. Actually sets us up to go right to manufacturing from here. So let us boogie. A vast cave system. Oh, another check-in spot.
Check-in approved.
That's very aggressive.
Warning. The safety rating of this sector is now -4. Please exit this sector via the main surface tunnel.
Synchrotron.
Stay quiet. They'll hear you.
Asta, do you see anything?
Keep away from the windows. At first, I thought it was an accident. Those creatures everywhere. But then, these terrorists came, hunting us. Now I don't know what to believe. What do they want? If I can just get to the blacksmith, he'll know how to get out of here. He's wired into this whole sector, and his forge is a fortress, so he should be safe. I think. I'll open the door for you now, but I'm telling you, they're shooting at anything that moves. Be careful. Maybe the blacksmith knows what happened to Frake and her team. Last I heard, they were down in the mines. Then the radio died, and all this started. The quakes destabilized everything. If the synchrotron down there has been disturbed, it could blow this place sky high. If we survive this, our high-energy research will have been set back months, maybe years. Have you seen Frake? I don't know if she made it out or not. They're hunting us. Why? Who are they? You came from Office Sector. Is it bad over there?
It's mostly fine. There's still a pool.
Maybe the blacksmith knows what happened to Frake and her team. Last I heard, they were down in the mines. Then the radio died, and all this started.
There we go. Oof. It's rather deafening, if I dare say so myself.
Oh, hey! I'm over here in the crane. The glass is bulletproof, but these guys don't know the meaning of give up. I keep hearing them talk some kind of code. Whatever. I figure the best thing I can do is distract them, so they don't notice poor suckers like you. I'm guessing you're looking for a way out. But first thing those trigger-happy assholes did was lock down the crossroads. You could push straight through if you got the guts. Or you could get smart and work your way around them. Head for the garage. Try and touch base with the blacksmith. He ain't going anywhere. I know what I'd do. I'd head for the garage and go from there if I were you. You can't miss it. Just be careful. These guys ain't messing around. I've been listening to their transmission. Military, government, mercs? Who the hell are they? I can't understand half of what they're saying. You need to get a move on. I can't last out here forever. I'd head for the garage and go from there if I were you. You can't miss it. Just be careful. These guys ain't messing around.
We shall meet the blacksmith. Unfortunate incident. So, this way is death. You don't want to go that way. Not right now. Go ahead and get these shortcuts opened up. Ah, our new boxes. You might notice that these look a little different than the other ones. The type of box will show you what is inside them. So, it's a very handy way of being able to tell what kind of resources you're actually going to get out of the boxes. And this is why we always bring a platform cart with us, by the way. Scrap shot, transmogrifier, storage crate medium. Some very cool things. We're just gonna eat a few radioactive nachos. If my hunger wasn't so low, I wouldn't bother, but it's pretty low. This is a very important thing. The high-vis vest will go into something rather marvelous indeed. Poor robot. I do love how these guys are designed. Annihilated. And we got some ammo. We're just going to harvest this man real quick for his arm and skull. Don't worry about it, it's fine.
Vehicles anywhere in the facility. From manufacturing to the depths of the reactors, you'll need up-to-the-minute accreditation before you lift, lug, port, or push material wherever it needs to go. So keep your certification up to date and keep science moving.
That is some funky jam.
Here at the Gate Cascade Research Facility, we're in the business of keeping science moving, and that means doing it safely. Whether you're shifting a supercomputer or helping deliver critical hydroplant upgrades, you must be forklift certified to drive one of our many mobile hoist vehicles anywhere in the facility. From manufacturing to the depths of the reactors, you'll need up-to-the-minute accreditation before you lift, lug, transport or push material wherever it needs to go. So keep your certification up to date and keep science moving.
Do you have your forklift certification, viewer? I have my forklift certification. There's not an expiration on the card, so I'm still certified. We don't need too much here. Some extra nachos. Some delicious peas. Go ahead and get this unlocked. Might as well put this to use. We'll go ahead and grab that. We do have a new backpack. And this should add 3 onto our capacity there. Yes. Wonderful. And it reduces the weight of our entire inventory too by 20%. But the security pack has served us very, very well.
Corruptio!
You come back here, you rat man.
Stop!
Rat scanner. An ornamented device built for scanning something in the environment that isn't immediately clear. Should make a decent whacking stick, though. That is true enough, it certainly does more damage than our knife does. We'll use that for now. You know, we'll leave that there for now. We'll get this unlocked. So, if you don't already have it, you can unlock the engineering outfit set with that corpse there. That gets you a new badge and some new clothing.
There they are!
An extra security pistol, fair enough. Good in case of our other one breaking. We can't power that right this second, but we are certified at least. The most high security bathroom. Let's go ahead and get this open.
Where'd you come from?
Unbelievable.
Look, we don't got a lot of time. Radio's out. Frake's gone AWOL. and the place is crawling with gunned-up psycho cowboys. They ain't shut me down yet, but folk like you need to be getting to the surface tunnel. Roadway's locked up tight, so you need to find a way through the security doors up there. Maybe you can hack through somehow. They don't exactly leave the codes lying around, if you know what I mean. If you need something, though, I can help. Equipment, gear, whatever. I can make it, if you got what I need.
Fair enough.
I got a lot of fabrication gear back here. You need something, I can make it. If you got something to trade, getting a little low on some necessities back here.
I haven't made one yet, but the hazard cart does seem really cool. This is why we needed these from Flathill, by the way. Beautiful. A medium-sized crate for storing hazardous materials without leaking any radiation.
I seen some crazy stuff down here. Working with Frake's been a trip. First time we've been invaded, though. If I were you, I'd head for the surface tunnel. Get your ass out of here. I don't know what you're planning, but it better be something smart. These military guys came past. I heard them talking. Sounded like something from a book. You know, real old school. Just don't go asking for no hot air balloon. I got a lot of fabrication gear back here. You need something, I can make it. If you got something to trade, getting a little low on some necessities back here.
Let's go ahead and grab this thing that's up here, hidden away in a crate. Should be able to make it. Got it. I'll throw that on. We could use that, actually. We can drop this. That's not too big of a deal. But now, we can forklift. Although it's not terribly useful right this second. This area we'll go into making a base for ourselves in the next episode.
IS-173, the aptly named Pest, is intriguing in part for the similarities it bears to so much early life on Earth, based on certain genetic parallels and, indeed, its genetic structure. Dr. Pendleton has identified some striking similarities to early life on Earth. But until we gather more information, her theory remains a theory at best.
We can, at the very least, set this bed down for the time being. Beautiful. Alright, let's head back home, and now we can do so via one of the coolest things in the game, in terms of very nice features that they added around. I'll take a quick look at this spot over here, just to show kind of what to expect from this next area. And even then, there's going to be plenty of new things going on here. But let's get back home. So, we'll grab a map. These are the trams, and they are actually all throughout the facility. We will encounter many of them. They actually have storage built into them, and they're really quick, and you get a nice little ride back to the main lobby for the most part. Some of these go to different areas, but almost all of them take you back to the lobby. They are powered by floating magic. It's a little weird, but I can drop my suspension of disbelief and just enjoy the ride, as it were. We now have a rat man occupying this spot. Ow. Unfortunately, we didn't get what I wanted out of that corpse, but I feel like we will soon. So, now that we've unlocked that, we can call it back to the lobby at any time. All these other ones are still locked, far away at their own stations. Home sweet home. You know, just so I don't forget, I'm gonna go ahead and water these before I cease this particular video. Because I certainly don't want to forget any of these, and I'll repair some gear. Alright. I think that just about does it. We made a ton of progress. We got a big shortcut unlocked. We went through Flathill, explored the Far Gardens, and now we have manufacturing to go enjoy. So, it's been a productive second episode, to say the least. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your time more than you know. And I hope you are, as always, enjoying the videos. More to come soon. Until next time, take care.
Thank you.